Hey guys, so today I got a super awesome video to share with you. I've been looking forward to this since yesterday. I'm very excited to share this really cool uniform with you and some of the information that kind of goes along with the uniform. What I can tell you is this video is going to be kind of lengthy, so please watch the whole thing for some really interesting information again about the uniform and the service and everything. And y'all just stay with me and bear with me. I got a lot of information to share, and I hope you enjoy this video. I can tell you the research I did on this uniform and everything is one of the main reasons I enjoy collecting. And a lot of you guys share the same passion. You know, the search of the item, researching the history of the soldier, their service, where they were, what they did. It makes it so fun, and so interesting and exciting to continue to collect and learn about history, share history, and encourage others to do the same. But again, I'm so excited to share this with you, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in, and let's get started. All right, so here it is, 37th Infantry. It's a dress jacket, and then you see the Army Air Forces or Air Corps patch on the opposite shoulder. And I actually got this jacket on Saturday, a couple days ago, with 6 other jackets. And I made a video on all those yesterday if you want to check it out. But I mentioned in that video that I was going to do a separate video specifically on this uniform. And something I wanted to share with you guys is I'll kind of show the jacket and then go into some things. But again, there's the 37th Infantry right there on the right shoulder. Then you got corporal chevrons. You got the U.S. and Air Corps collar disc, Purple Heart, and then Asiatic, if I'm not mistaken. I'm losing my mind already, but with the star, again, Army Air Forces, again, Corporal. Not a whole lot on the inside. These are my tags here, description I wrote on there, but does have a laundry number, S2078. So a lot of you guys were kind of like, okay, that's a pretty cool jacket, but what's so interesting or exciting about it? So what I do, like I always do, is I start looking in the pockets whenever I get a uniform or a jacket or pants or something, right? And I'm sure you guys have found stuff like I have, but so in this lower front pocket, I found this folded piece of paper. Now, I'm going to have my finger covering up one thing that I don't want you guys really to see because it has to do with the second part of this video. But this uniform belonged to Richard Theodore Schultz, and then you see 37th Infantry Division, Ohio. Born in Pomona, that'd be California, raised Sacramento. He was a replacement rifleman, and then it says he was wounded by shrapnel, transferred to the Army Air Corps, and then it says he was a turret repairman and medically released. And so again, Richard Theodore Schultz, and again, I got something interesting in my fingers covered, and that I'll show you guys a little bit later. But, so what I wanted to share with you guys is I'll talk about this uniform and the soldier here, and then I'll get into something else that's pretty incredible. So, again, this belonged to Richard Theodore Schultz, and he was born on January 3rd, 1925. He passed away on April 10th of 2014. Says he enlisted on March 9th, 1943 at the age of 18. And even though he was from California, he ended up joining the 37th Infantry, which originates out of Ohio. A lot of you collector guys are from Ohio. And it says he was a replacement starting in October of 1943. So from what I've researched and found, around October 1943, he joined the 37th. And then, I'm kind of, researching and stuff. The first thing I did, I went to World War II enlistment records, and I matched up, you see the laundry number S2078, and then you got the S for Schultz, 2078. Sacramento, California, date of enlistment, year of birth, and so forth. So I found a little bit of information there. And then I went on to Ancestry, like a lot of us do, and found his registration card information here. And, again, all that lines up, matches up. And then I began clicking on the different links and stuff through Ancestry. Again, this right here just talks about his age, resident, place, registration, and everything, his height, weight, all that kind of stuff. And I kept looking and everything, again, just finding out a little bit, piecing together information about the guy. And I even found this photo. It says class of February 1942. And what I wanted to show you guys is this is him right here. He's actually got glasses on, if you can tell right there, and he's in a uniform. So that's him right there. And then there was another photo, and I wanted to show you, this is him right here. Same guy with glasses, and you see he's got like a garrison cap or overseas cap. So again, that's him right there. And then in the other photo, I'm sorry, there he is, right there. So again, there he is, picture of him, right? So I kept digging on Ancestry, and then I find this out. And you see, this is a hospital administration file. And he was, his admission date was March of 1944, and discharge was October 1944. And it says he was wounded by hand grenade fragments. The 4th metacarpal bone in the 2nd location was in the thigh. Casualty of battle in the line of duty, right? So he was hit, obviously by shrapnel, by fragments of a grenade, and he actually lost his left ring finger, and he was hit in the thigh with shrapnel as well. So that is where he got this Purple Heart from. And so I'm getting kind of curious, I'm like, hey, so where was he wounded, right? Like, where was he at? And so again, I keep looking, and then I find in Ancestry. Now this right here is another hospital administration, but this one is from August 1945, and then it says discharge October 1945. And then by then it says he's in the Air Force, right? And the diagnosis is deformity due to previous disease or injury, not elsewhere. Basically, location in the hand. Injury type, it says non-traumatism. Removal of foreign bodies from extremity. And then it says the disposition is discharged or retired for disability, line of duty, yes. Final result, loss of hand, part of left. And so because of the wounding by the shrapnel, he ended up losing his left ring finger. Now, I don't know if he lost the whole finger when he was first wounded, or a chunk, or, part of his finger was lost, by the shrapnel or the fragments of the grenade, or the rest of it had to be cut off later on, but he still lost his left ring finger and was hit in the thigh as well. And so I keep getting interested. I'm like, man, I'd really like to find out where was he wounded, right? Get some more information. So next, I go to find a grave, which I do all the time. And look, I found him. Richard Theodore Schultz, the date of birth, date of death line up. He actually has a military headstone right there. And it actually says USAAF. You see that? Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Combat Infantry Badge, right? But I'm looking through the obituary on Find a Grave, and check this out. I'm reading. He entered military service in October 1943 as a replacement Army rifleman in the Ohio National Guard Buckeye 37th Infantry Regiment. After receiving combat injuries on the Pacific island of Bougainville, if I'm pronouncing that right, he was released from military service. So now I know the injury from the grenade, losing his left ring finger, hitting the thigh, took place on the island of Bougainville. And so, okay, so now I got a place. I don't have the exact date, but okay. But then, so I go back to this hospital administration card from Ancestry, and his admission date was March 1944, and that's when he was wounded. It doesn't say which day in March, but March 1944. And so I kind of start researching the 37th when they were on Bougainville, and it actually mentions that in March of 1944, the Japanese launched a series of a bunch of pretty brutal and hardcore attacks against the unit and everything, but the unit held. And so during those major attacks of the Japanese against the 37th and maybe even other units, it was at that time that he was wounded. Again, I don't know the exact day in March 1944, but it's still cool, finding out more and everything. And so, again, there's his headstone. I actually found him here. This is him as an older man. Unfortunately, his left hand is about halfway covered behind. I'm guessing that's his dog, but again, that's him right there. And this right here just talks about his obituary, which a lot of it has to do, with the same information on his Find a Grave. So all that's really interesting and everything. So again, that's where his Purple Heart originated from. And it's so fun researching this stuff. And I'm starting to pack up these papers, but believe me, I'm not done. I know I'm getting long-winded. I thank you guys that are still with me, but I got something else to share with you. So as you guys know, I told you that, and you saw that I had my finger covering up something inside this pocket, the paper in the pocket. So what I wanted to show you, again, the information you saw a minute ago. Now I'm going to move my finger. Look, brother died in 82nd in Europe. Okay, so he had a brother that served, obviously, in World War II as well. So 82nd, so that must mean 82nd Airborne, right? So I start doing my research, and what I wanted to show you guys is I found his brother, Robert Luther Schultz. He was born May 29th, 1922, and date of death, September 29th, 1944, and he was 22 years old. And he passed away in the Netherlands, basically Holland, right? And I'm kind of looking here, and there's actually a photo of him. And you see 82nd Airborne, technician, 5th grade. That's him, right? And I'm looking here, and it talks about Robert was killed in action by a shell burst on the Nijmegen Bridge in Holland. He had seen action in Sicily, Italy, and Normandy. So he was a D-Day veteran. Robert entered the Army in October 1942. He received basic training in Texas and advanced training in North Africa. So again, the first brother who this uniform belonged to, name was Richard. One of his other brothers, Robert, was in the 82nd, and unfortunately, he was killed by a shell burst on the Nijmegen Bridge in Holland, basically right in the Netherlands, right? And so I keep trying to research Robert here, and I find his enlistment records, which it talks about date of enlistment, year of birth, all that lines up. Sometimes this enlistment records can be just kind of plain or just not be full of a lot of information. I kept looking online, and look, I found him. There's the same photo from his Find a Grave, right? And it says technician, technical 4th grade. I think I said 5th a minute ago. But anyways, Robert L. Schultz, 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment. He was in Headquarters Company, 3rd Battalion. And then DOW, for those of you guys that don't know what that is, that would be died of wounds, September 29th, 1944. So all that lines up, right? So he was in the 505th of the 82nd. And then I keep looking, and there he is again, 505th, right, of the 82nd, date of death. Here is the application for his headstone or marker, it says. And again, there's his birthday, date of death, his name, and just other information right there, which is pretty interesting. This right here I found on Ancestry. It's his registration card. If you can see that. You know, these are pretty easy to locate if you have an Ancestry account or know somebody that does. Now check this out. Here is his actual grave marker. Robert L. Schultz from California, technician, 4th grade, 505th Parachute Infantry, 82nd Airborne Division, World War II, right? I'm reading this even though I know you guys can see it because I'm excited about this. May 29th, 1922, September 29th, 1944. And I say I'm excited about it. I'm excited about learning the history having to do with this uniform and the family, connection and everything, the family service. And it's exciting connecting the dots and finding out more information about the items we collect and everything. It's by no means exciting that Richard here was wounded and lost a finger and hit in the thigh. That's not exciting. It's not exciting that his brother Robert was killed by a shell burst on the Nijmegen Bridge. That is not exciting at all. That's actually tragic and sad, and that's really terrible. But what's exciting, though, is now I'm able to put these pieces together, and now I'm creating a story around these two brothers. They did have another brother who was younger, and he was actually too young to serve in World War II. So again, I'm putting this family history together, and that's what's exciting. That's why I'm passionate. That's why I like doing what I do, and a lot of you guys I know are on the same page as me. Connecting the dots to the past, keeping history alive, honoring those that serve, preserving their memory, displaying the stuff in our collection as a way of honoring as well. But I found out just a little bit of information here as well from Ancestry. Again, enlistment date. He was a salesman before, and just different things like that. It's kind of basic information there. But again, I'm so excited. I was so thankful to connect these dots. I know I keep saying that. I've been looking forward to making this video all day long. These are all my notes right here. I wrote down talking points and stuff. I thought about this all day at work. But again, it's just so sad that, the one brother lost his life, and the other brother, again, was wounded. But, You know, Richard, again, the man that owned this uniform belonged to, he lived to be, what was it, 86 years old, I believe, or maybe it was 89. I'm sorry. Actually, he was 89 years old. So, you know, that's really something. And again, thinking about his brother Robert was a D-Day veteran. He jumped during the early hours of D-Day, you know, with the 505th. And then it's, you know, it's just sad he was killed basically during Operation Market Garden. And so something else that really stood out to me, because I'm OCD and I pay attention to detail and I see things, and I know I'm repetitive, but I'm just so excited about putting this story together, making this video, and I'm getting towards the end, so y'all bear with me. So again, this uniform belonged to Richard. His brother, Robert, unfortunately, was killed in Holland, basically the Netherlands, right, during Operation Market Garden. Something so interesting, and I even get chills right now, is look at this. Look at the hanger that this uniform is on. It's a World War II period hanger from Cincinnati, Ohio. So again, Ohio unit, Ohio hanger. But look, Netherland Plaza. I'm like, of all the places that this hanger came from, it says Netherland on it. And Richard, who owned the jacket, his brother Robert, he was killed in the Netherlands. So, like, some of y'all might think that's kind of weird or not exciting like I do, but I'm like, what are the odds that the coat hanger says Ohio and it says Netherlands, and then his brother was killed in the Netherlands? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of one of those weird things that I came across, and I've done this with other things, and I think it's really exciting to, again, keep putting these pieces together and information and stuff. But I'm starting to wrap this up, but I just want you guys to know that don't give up on researching items. You can find out a lot just by a laundry number, or sometimes you'll get lucky and there'll be information in the jacket pocket on a coat or a pair of pants or trousers or something. Don't give up on it. You know, just keep looking and researching and everything, because there's so many stories that need to be told from the items that we collect, whether it's a helmet, a gun, a bayonet, a canteen, whatever it may be. And these stories need to be told and everything. You know, we're losing these World War II veterans, I think like 200 or 300 a day or something like that. So if you see a World War II veteran, spend time with them, talk to them, let them open up to you if they feel to do so, or sometimes just a handshake and a thank you for your service does a lot of them just good. Just good enough. A lot of them might not want to talk about it. We understand that, but so many of them do. They're writing books. There's movies coming out. But we just got to do all we can to keep history alive, you know, and there's so many things going on in the world right now trying to erase history and do away with it, but we got to preserve it. We got to research it. We got to keep it alive so it does not repeat itself. But I hope you guys like this video. Again, I'm sorry I got kind of long-winded, but I got very excited about it. You can probably hear my voice, even though I'm very tired today from work. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this uniform and the two brothers and their stories and everything. And hopefully I did a pretty good job putting some information together for you guys. I'm going to keep researching, and hopefully I'm able to locate more. If any of you guys are able to find out any information on the Schultz brothers, y'all please let me know. Comment, or y'all, if you don't know this, I have a John Boy Military Facebook page. I have a John Boy Military Instagram. So if y'all want to follow me on there, that would be pretty cool as well. But anyways, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for watching this full-length video. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for your time. God bless you, and I'll be getting back to you soon.